Hello, how you guys doing? James here. Um, Trying to stay cool. Having a missing fortune at my apartment. Um, my Part of my electric is out. Yeah. Been out since. There's been problem since Saturday. Um, my my kitchen light worked. The bathroom light worked. The electrical in my bedroom worked. But um, my TV was like in my main room. Well, I'm in my main room right now. That would go out, and and then next thing you know, if I'm on the computer, it would die down. Uh, we called down. You know, my neighbor, it happened to him. His stove went out. Then my stove went out. The refrigerator's on. The stove is out. I don't know how the way some of these apartments are designed, but it's crazy. Uh, hi- his went out the same day my stove went out. So I couldn't cook anything yesterday. He couldn't cook anything. But luckily, thank God, the refrigerator's still going on. Um, the lights, thank goodness, in the bedroom, in the bathroom, I got lights. Uh, I called down there to the electric company. Well, I kind of texted him and tell him I had an outage. They never, and you know how with the electric company, they say, oh, well, blah blah blah. You put in your request, let them know that your electric is out. That was Saturday. So the management, and I do believe because the management pays electric, so we had to call the management. Um, they send maintenance out here, maintenance test. That's how I found out how they test all the circuits and everything, and they come to find out that it was they thought it was maybe I was putting too much in one wall. So I said, no, I got them power surges. One of those things that if you plug in more than one device, you make sure that prevent that. And even when I spread it around and take some of the devices off, my my TV, which is a Roku TV, is still shutting down. So and so I didn't understand this, but I said, "What's going on?" So I go and pay my rent over at the office, and I saw one of the head maintenance man. Explained to him what was going on. That that the electric is acting funny, and it comes. So he says probably something. He said I couldn't tell you offhand, and he said probably. He said next time if it happens again, the electric go out. Don't touch anything. Leave the maintenance. He'll come over and check it out. So yesterday the maintenance man was here, and then I think so. He looked around. He went out to the meter, and to come to find out, the meters is supposed to be at over 100 and something watts. It was all four apartments had 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. My my unit had it. My neighbor's unit had it. The neighbor behind me had it. The neighbor beside my neighbor who's behind me had it. So that unit is shut down. Shut down. So um, called the so the maintenance called the electric company. They said it. They said that they was gonna get me out here yesterday. No electric company. Um, so my neighbor he gets a little agitated, calls the management, and say, hey, we ain't got no electric for the last 3 or 4 days. We can't cook anything. So the management said, okay, we're gonna get somebody over there because it's like that when you don't have electric or something like that in the apartment, um, that's dangerous, you know. And I didn't know he has asthma. He told me that he has asthma. Um, so it really, he had to go out and go into the laundry room and chill out. in a, but this is well, the main thing I want to tell you is you ain't gonna believe this what happened. So far since I lived out here, and before I moved out here, there was a man that passed away in his apartment. It was a he passed away out of a heart attack. Another man passed away, and there's one lady who just moved out of her apartment. He passed away of an overdose. Then recently, not too long after that, there was this man. I think they say he's African. He's from one of African countries. He lived by himself, and I don't think he had family around here. Just like this other guy I'm about to tell you, he passed away of a heart attack. And these guys were probably up in their late 40s and 50s. Then, and his case manager, I guess, went in there, or I don't know, was a case manager or somebody went in there. The manager went in there, and they found him deceased. Same way with this other dude. Now, this last dude who passed away, man, this is crazy, man. Now, someone told me one of my neighbors told me that when they went in and found him, he was completely naked. And not only that, he was completely naked, there were porn magazines all over the place. Yeah. Part of it, they said some people said he had COPD, but anyway, they found him dead. I know what was going on, so I come out the other day, and said, "What's going on?" I see two gray vans. That come to find it, they was from the morgue. The police officers were out here, and the management had to let them do the whole 9 yards. But right after this man died, this man passed away. They redid the apartment, gutted it out, and put another tenant in it. When they're probably gonna do that to this next person over here. They're gonna probably gut it out, clean it out, boom. And right now, another neighbor who she got put out. Let me tell you how she got put out. She got put out by she was bringing company out here, and most apartment communities, you only have so many amount of guests live out here, and can stay with you like a relative or a friend or something like that. They can only stay for days. But she and this other woman who got put out, they were letting people come in there, letting homeless people come in there. And not only that, they let the homeless people come in there, they will open up the laundry room and let them sleep in there. And so the next day, or let people do their clothes in there and leave their clothes in. And it was just a hot mess. So my neighbor, couple of my neighbors went back and told what happened to the management. And the management told her a couple of times, "Hey, this is your company. This happened to you. There's gonna be consequences." Well, she kept on doing it. She kept on doing it. This lady's woman. She kept on and on and on. And so the lady who kind of is like, she's not like the manager, but she's like the housing specialist. She comes out here and checks on the people out here and see, hey, because she's the kind of person that come with the resources, and you need any help or any additional help, and that her job is to let you know what's going on. If you need some food or medical attention or mental counseling or anything like that. That's her job. She come out here, because when she first came out, she met with all the tenants out here, And you ain't gonna believe what she said to this woman. I heard this through the grapevine. The, the housing coordinator is she has blonde hair, but she's a white Latina, and she says to her, right, the one that just got put out, boy, it's good to see another white person up in here. And I'm like, whoa, this guy, and this came through the grapevine, and I'm like, are you serious? And she didn't know. She said she was kind of, from what I heard instead, she was kind of taken back from it, like that just come out and say that, kind of find out. And the lady did take kind of offensive because the lady who's the Latina with the blonde hair has a husband that's African American. Just come out and say that. And then here's the funny part about, she messed with black guys. So I don't understand, a couple people, I don't understand why would she say that when she messed with black people. That's just not a surprise. Just somebody can be self-racist, they can lay down with you and do everything with you, but they can still be racist. I've heard a couple social media people talk about that's very true, and that was the case with her. But that was a kind of surprise, and ever since then she don't like her, but she had to go back over there and try to talk with her. But so one day she goes over there to let her know, because she had some people in front of her apartment, like a tent city. In front of her apartment, they had tents out there, and the management had to say, you had to move this stuff. And so she got real nasty and snappy, and I knew something was up with her, because one day we had like a tenant meeting, and the property manager said, hey, if you have pets, you have to they can't be on his property unless they be proper paperwork, because they allowed all these stray cats on the property. And she goes off in the meeting, because I think it's one of the cats, but the cat that she took care of, they're not house cats. They out running around the field and everything. And from what I've heard from people that's been in her apartment, it didn't smell too white. She didn't take really had a smell. This is what it was mentioned to me. But she was one of these kind of people that it was so dumb, because right now here in Ohio, like any place else, when you find an apartment where you don't have to pay and you're in a decent area, you don't have to pay an high amount of money, because the average apartment in Ohio, in like places like here in Columbus and Cleveland, different cities like that, you at least paying about $1,200 to almost, who knows, getting close up to like California and New York prices, like almost damn near up to $1,500 to $2,000. Depends on what part of town you live in. So this is what happened. But here is the thing. Here, they go according to your rent. All the apartments is like one level. So it's like you got your balcony. You have your bathroom, like pretty much a what I think a few out here is a 2-bedroom, but they can't take care of electric and gas. All you have to do is pay rent. Most places, even if you go according to your income, if you're working or you receiving some type of assistance or help, you at least paying, not only you paying the rent, you have to pay the utility bills. My last apartment I lived at, I paid the rent and gas and electric at my one apartment. So I saved up on some money. So I like, man, how can someone mess up a good thing like this? Just follow the rules. That's it. Just follow. Don't, if they just say, don't do this, just don't do it. And plus, it's not like these are These it's not like these are a bunch of young people. These are people in the middle age. And in fact, the youngest one young lady out here, they say she's like in her 20s, but they take care of everything. That's why I can't complain. But it's like, man, and I was telling the resident manager and this other person, it's hard to find apartments out here. Ain't nobody going, ain't too many places going to do that. If you paying that don't have to pay gas and electric, you're gonna at least pay about a good grand or two. If they take care of your gas and your electric. But she messed that up. Both of these women messed that up. Letting all these people come in and stay with her. I mean, and she would like this woman, like this other woman, would meet somebody. They would walk around to the store. So they bring people up from the streets. So they come in and crash out and bring their mess and bring their drama right with it. And it was just going in and out. I mean, not your ordinary, close family members or friends, but nobody would care that what you do. But when your company start affecting other people's company and their peace of mind, it's gonna get noticed. So it finally got out. Yeah. I'll be hold on right back. Okay. Okay. Oh, sorry about that. My neighbor been getting on my nerves, boy. I'm glad the electric man's finally out here after a couple of days. But anyway, get back to what I was saying. She lost a good place. And so now they have what they call case managers. Her case manager, I asked the people, I said, won't their case manager take care of them or something like that, or put them or try to get them some help, some counseling, or try to maybe work on getting them into another place? And from what they told me, and even the housing coordinator said that these case managers, people who have problems or some kind of, whatever status that they have, they don't even check up on them. They just, they just do, just mandatory. So it's like they trying to do what they can, but she messed up apartment, and she's not the only one. There was another young lady that did this, messed up her apartment. Allowing people coming over, tearing stuff up, and things like that. And doing stuff just crazy stuff. So I don't know. You just got. You just never know with people. But yeah, I'm glad that the electric gonna be on. I just cut my fan off because the guy's there's a box out there. It's out on the property, and so each box has their own separate units. And I think what happened was something in that box went out, and that's what hit all 3 or 4 apartments. Yeah, and so that's what caused it. It was weird, and it's like to have your apartment go have electric on one room and have appliances and gas and all the other good stuff go out. It's crazy. Yeah, so let me shut my window right quick. Yeah, my neighbors he talk kind of loud. He's a character in himself, boy. He was all upset. I understand he's all upset, but let the man do his job, Anyway, Um, so, but yeah, that's how they lost their apartment. Letting company, they lose it, having the wrong type of company. And now, one of the new tenants move in. This young lady, who is related to the guy that just knocked on my door, they, she got some stuff going on. She got kids, right? From what I heard, that she's pregnant. This is two people told me that she's pregnant and she's smoking, and she got some drama stuff going on with her kids over there because she got a 14, what they said, a 14, 15-year-old son, a 16-year-old daughter. And, it's just one of those kind of deals that, man, you see the drama, coming. One day they come try to knock on my door. I don't answer the door. Because I knew, I see, the people come up in here loud the thing is like, no, I just keep my head down. It's like, hey, and mind my own business. But it's a shame because some people don't appreciate what they have. When there's thousands, hundreds, and thousands of people out there are homeless. There are people, or they're probably in some place where they don't have a peace of mind. They might live in a neighborhood where it's like gunshots all over the place. And these people just mess a good thing up. They just never know what's going on. But so I'm kind of glad that everything gets straightened out. It's not a bad place. One thing I know that sometimes they had a hard time keeping maintenance man in some places. In the few that they got left, I don't know because they pay them, and sometimes that plays a part too. But yeah. But what I would say is, when you have a relative or friend, and they're up in their 40s, 50s, sometimes in their 60s, I would say go and check on them because you don't want to be like my neighbors out here. Call them once in a while and see how they doing. These men, they didn't have no family here. Like the one guy who passed away, they found naked. His family lived in Indiana. So it was really something. It was really, my heart goes out to his family, both of their families or people who's close to them. And it's a reality that kind of shakes you up when you hear stuff like that. Because my last apartment, there were people that lived on the same floor that I did, and they passed away in their sleep. And it was one woman lived right next door to me. The other person, there was a guy that lived down the hall from me. He passed away. They found him. His son went in the apartment, found him deceased. So it's good to take care of your people when they get older. Go and check on them and stuff. It's because some people, they don't care. And that's an awful thing. And I didn't know this too. Once if they find a person deceased, they take them to the they have to take them to a corner and wait till someone claim the body. So that's really rough. My friend told me about that, and my neighbor told me about that. That sometimes, like, man, they have to dispose of the body if a family member don't come claim them. So, that's one of the things you have to be aware about. And so that's been what's going on with happening with me. Like, it's just you wouldn't think that little, like where I live at, it's really chill out. It's really calm. But it anymore, it don't take too much things to happen. You can be the most nicest, quietest areas, and somebody gotta get some things start popping off crazy. Or in the case an unfortunate case with my neighbors that passed away, My one neighbor who lives behind me, I don't know, he got some kind of mental problem because um, he go he walks off and he be gone for like a week, and his mother that come down and check on him. One time he was gone for like a week and a half. Kind of find out he was laying up by the railroad tracks down here, and so and they had to keep a hold of it. Sometimes she had to call the cops to see if they could check on him. 'Cause sometimes he don't have no money, and then the neighbor I just told you, he'll say something, but he's one of these kind of people that he'll tell you something, but he'll exaggerate the story. And he'd be, I don't know if you ever come across someone like they telling you they can be telling you partially the truth, but they gotta make up some things in it. And I call him Little Casanova because he think he's trying to be holler at all these women around here. I don't know, he's 60-something years old. I don't know, he still think he must be a player back in his time. But anyway, yeah, I would say it's been a heck of a week, man. That's weird how some of these apartments is. Because my last apartment I had, check this out, I lived on the second building in the same area where I lived at. I moved downstairs. It was the same way in the first building too. And what happened was they moved us when I lived up the north of Columbus, this area called River Lodge Apartments. They moved me from one section into the other because they rehabbing the buildings. So they putting all the appliances and then at the same time, while all that was going on, you have construction up there. Ohio is like construction. They do this every year. I mean, they just tear something up. I don't know. Some places that I think they like picking the main roads that tear stuff up and just cause all kind of problems and stuff. And then when they repair the doggone street, the thing feel like you got to go over a damn like you one of these people that take one of 4x4 be jumping over boom boom all the potholes, the bumps in the road. You take one you think you out in the woods driving your pothole because sometimes the streets they don't really repair them that good right in some cases. But yeah, anyway, I was up there and that was a pain in the ass when I lived up north. They had the work. They trying to rehab. They taking down one. It's like 6, 7, 8 buildings out there. So it's like so many amount of people. Oh shit! There's so many amount of people out there, and it's crazy. So yeah, this so it's just. The construction, then moving to another building, and then when finally I get into the new building with new appliances and new stuff, guess what else happened? You ain't gonna believe this. Every once in a while, the toilet, I'm getting someone else's whatever coming down into my bathtub. I don't know who in the heck did the plumbing up out there, but it was terrible. Whoever did, they did a terrible job. Every time they had to call the water company, had to figure out where is this coming from. I was mad in the mud. I had to get bleach and had to bleach that stuff out. Someone else's, I don't even call them a toilet or whatever, coming down and coming up through the bathtub, not through the toilet, through the bathtub. It was disgusting, man. And I was glad and frustrated. Then that would tick me off living up there. Then the fact that if you get a car, right, you live out there, you gotta take your registration and take it over there within a certain amount of time, or they have maintenance ride through the parking lot, ticket your car, and then you had to back it up. I mean, you had to pull it in. They didn't want you backing up near the windows, and I mean it was all these unnecessary rules. And then one time, like you know how sometimes over a period of time, your blinds you might get a little dents, bent dents in your blinds, and you know some apartment complexes they replace it. You figure it's like 15 to 20 some 30 some dollars to fix some blinds. Not River Lodge. They charge you $100, and if you don't do it, they give you a 10-day notice. They're threatening to put you out if you don't pay the whole amount. If you don't agree to pay the amount, they'll put you out. That's what they did to people. That's how dirty. That's why this some apartment complexes is dirty, man. It's like, are you serious? Over some blinds, you're gonna charge somebody $100 for some blinds, some average apartment blinds that you would see in these apartments. They paid about maybe 30, 40, $40. And that's one of the things that really got on my nerves up there, and the management. And then one time someone got unalive up there by somebody when I first moved up there. It was one thing after the other. And it was one thing, it was crazy. It was just crazy. And it was really sad. I've seen fights up there. And you see it's the kind of place that's next to the park. So it's a really decent area, but once you get a certain demographic of individuals with that kind of mindset, they take it down. And it doesn't matter, what ethnic background they come from. Trust me, they just have some people. A wall walks of life that's got bad character. You got some people who don't have no life. They have no life. They make their apartment community their whole life. I mean, that's just crazy. They want. You ever heard of the term busybody? There's some people like this. This one neighbor, he's a busybody, and I had neighbors up there like that, busybody. They know everybody business, telling about their business. I mean, it's just crazy. It's just crazy, man. And then some people just have no life. And one thing, I try not to entertain people like that too long because, hey, I get up and go. And however I'm feeling really bad or it's a bad day, I get up and go. I try not to really get into some drama, costly stuff with people. This guy, I tell you, man. Hold on.
Turn your air on.
Okay, dude.
Cut it on now.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, y'all. This guy worried the shit out of his man. Hold on. This guy can't go.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's on.
Okay.
Cut
Okay.
the air on.
Jesus. You see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about? This man's still out there talking to the man's trying to get to his job. And he's out here now. He up there trying to worry that man. Get on that man. I said, just go back inside. Okay, let him do his job. Go back inside, man. Go enjoy yourself. I mean, he could have came. He probably would have came over and knocked on my door himself and let me know electric is on. Anyway, you see how some people are? They keep it in the. Oh my goodness, yeah. But yeah, that's well, I'll get back to what I'm saying. Yeah, so that's why I left that apartment complex up there. It was just, it was a mess. And it's like that's why I kind of moved. I was kind of reluctant because of the side of town I've been in because I was like, oh, because is it going to be like where I was at before? Because when I first moved to Columbus, man, I stayed on the west side, and you probably seen video. They call it, um, they have a, they got this place on the lower west side and the upper west side. The upper west side is called they call it the Hilltop. And they gave the bottom, they gave the lower west side the bottoms. And when I talk about they gave it the name. I see why they call it the bottoms. They call it the bottoms because it's like every walk of life. I mean, you got people that's on crack, alcoholics, you know, they have arguing and they had to have foot patrol on it. It was one of the it was bad. It was bad. I couldn't wait to get out of here. And on top of that, it had mice and roaches. So I really didn't want to deal with that stuff. And so I didn't want to deal with that. So, but it was just, I'm sorry, I keep getting interrupted. That's the electric man thing. He had to come out here, and it's a train. Well, next to it, I'll probably have to show you one of these days with my camera. There's a big trans box out here with this property, and so the 4 units, and I didn't realize there's other transmission box that run all your electrical things and so on. And that's how, because other people got they had their electric and other good stuff on. And but yeah, it was crazy going out for 3 days. And then the electric, he called down and he kept on like he was down like, hey, did you call electric company? Yeah, I called them. Call down in there again. Like, okay, man, just calm down, you know. Man, you know, it's just, woo. And I don't know, this guy I think he just lived for drama. He's just one of those people. I tried it. You know, you try to be kind of nice to people, but they just, they kind of like get on your nerves, you know. It's like, go somewhere, go get a life or something. I can't, you know, I mean, I don't. He was telling me something personal about some woman that he got with her in a way. I'm like, man, I mean, tell me about one woman's hygiene, getting with this woman and talking about her hygiene, the other woman talk about, I don't know, it's like, man, you 60-something years old, you still trying to holler at somebody. Like, man, sit your butt down, you know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know why some people think that's supposed to impress somebody. I mean, you know, maybe when you're younger, it might be sounds to some people, but when you're damn near 60 years old, talk about what kind of woman you lay with, that's pretty messed up. I don't know, I don't want to hear that mess, man. I don't care about that, you know. Anyway, yeah, that's the kind of neighbor I got, you know. And he had one neighbor, you know, he walked away, and it was just, they had to find him. And yeah, and the other women, the 3 women got put out for dumb reasons, let people. And the crazy about the thing is that all these people that as her friends, I said, you mean telling me none of these people who are supposed to be her friends that she let come over there, stay over there, you know, get drunk, whatever, they couldn't take her in, let her sleep in their apartment, in their couch, and carry on? Now, from what I heard from the resident manager, my neighbor, they saw her, she's sleeping out there in a tent on the street somewhere. I mean, it's sad, you know, people felt bad, but I said, hey, man, I mean, in a way, she had a chance. Everybody was trying to tell her, so she won't have to get put out. But there's only so much you can do for a person if they're so hard-headed. And they want to be hard-headed, they want to cuss you out, and because you're trying to get them right, and they stuck in their own mind, and they want to be stubborn, they have to learn the hard way. Because there's somebody out there, hey, the way things are right now, people are looking for some partners out there. There's a lot of homeless people out there, and it could be somebody coming from a bad apartment, living in a bad community like I was in, and trying to find something decent and peaceful. Because there's some places around the community there isn't no peace. I mean, you got people worrying about their kids. You know, they live in a family unit. Some people act a fool and pull out a gun and start shooting, and they got to worry about some stuff like that. I mean, it can happen anywhere, but it's just like, man, you don't want to live it was constantly like that. And so it's a decent area, you know, for being around next to the city. Like I said, it's kind of away from downtown, but it's not a, you know, you got people that they carry that territorial spirit. You know, they see you, they test you, and they see if you're too open, they try you. If you're too withdrawal, something wrong with you. I mean, it's like, you know, sometimes like, man, so it's good to watch what type of territory you live in. And because when you looking for an apartment, and that's what I learned when I first moved up here from Cincinnati to Columbus. And even when I moved when I moved to Cincinnati, I lived up near where I'm originally from, near Youngstown. And get to know that area when I went to Cincinnati, went through some stuff and drama down there. I'm so glad to leave Cincinnati. Man, it was in Cincinnati, Ohio ain't for everybody. It's not. It's a whole, I say out of all, speak a man born and raised in Ohio, I can say that is one city in Ohio that is different. I don't know what it is. Cleveland got its issues, Dayton got its issues, Toledo got its issues, and even Youngstown. But Cincinnati people, oh my goodness, it's a whole. I can't describe it unless you have to be here for a while and live down there to see what I'm talking about, and come from another city. And you'll see, you won't spot after a while, but when you be down it like any other city in any state, you'll see the difference in the mindset of some people. You be like, you think you're going nuts. Like, no, what you see is like they have a different attitude, territorial mindset. And even though that my mom married a man and his family was from down there, since she met back in the 80s, it's just, you know, I mean, you can go down there and visit. I mean, you know, go to the ballpark, go to amusement park, but I wouldn't live down there. You come to Ohio, come to Columbus, I would say. This where really it's about to pop off for the next 3 to 5 years. They got companies coming here. But you know, even though Cincinnati do have a sports team like the Bengals and the Reds, and of course like Cleveland and the Indians and the Browns, and of course Cleveland got a basketball team, and they got soccer like they do here, soccer team. But it's just really there's no professional team here in Columbus, but that's the only thing about it. You a Browns fan or Bengals fan, you know, it is what it is. But anyway, yeah, that's what's going on with me with the latest with the apartment situation. So thank God I got electric, and I think my TV will come back on now. I think I got a Roku TV that just kept going out over and over. It kept going. Then it was like the computer was shut down. It go beep 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 beep. So so thank goodness, and maybe my neighbor can calm down. And so anyway, so I hope you guys have a good one. And yeah, the message is check on your people. Check on, you got friends or relatives or neighbors, check on them, especially when they get up at a certain age, because you know, you get to a certain point in life, you know, even though sometimes some people don't, you might not feel like, or you're a person up in age, I appreciate when people phone calls, because you don't know what can happen. In the case, I witnessed this 4 or 5 times, people in their own apartments, and they're deceased. And no one don't know about it till their family do. So please take this message and stay connected to your family, your elders, or anybody. It's very important, because how many people leave this world and not knowing that you know, something went down until it's too late. So, all right then, guys, take care. I don't sorry to make this. I don't want to make this too long, but this was going on with me in the apartment, and yeah, make sure you and if you do look for an apartment, find if you're not try to find less people. If you want peace, find less people. Find like a two a townhouse or something like that, or get like a single floor like I am, but don't go in no building, because you got more people, you got more drama, and hopefully the people you move next to, even if it is two or three, that they don't have no drama with them, that there be a peace of mind, and they have a life and they mind their own business, and they got a life, and they just friendly, but they got their own life. So all right then, you guys take care. See you on next video. Like and subscribe. But yeah, it's another day in this beautiful day. Have a good day.